to a short video on my Prussian army. I thought I haven't had a chance to get this one out. It's now pretty much complete, and I thought you might like to see the whole thing. We've got two Prussian brigades of infantry and a brigade of cavalry, and as I'm sure many of you know, that the Prussian term for brigade often equates to a division in other armies' strengths. So these forces were sort of loosely based on those present at Waterloo, as a lot of my collection has been. So first part is a unit of the Prussian First Corps, and this is the 2nd Brigade. So we have the 2nd Brigade on table here, and there are 3 units in it. I'm missing one battalion, and we'll get to that in a second. So the most elite unit is the 6th Regiment of Infantry. These ones here, they're all pretty much all Calp figures, not 100% in this army, but these ones I think are Calps. So we've got a regiment or a battalion of Fusiliers at the back. These are smallish size units, these ones. These are only 24 figures strong. And then 2 regiments of line musketeers from the 6th Infantry Regiment. So they're all regulars. They were supported by a regiment of reservists, and actually in this case, for this brigade, this was the 28th Regiment, which is made up of Berg infantry. So these ones aren't Calp, these are a mixture of periplastics and other bits and pieces that were lying around. As you can see, I've only got 2 battalions of those. I bought some of these off eBay and then painted up a few extras and skirmishers. A couple of other figures myself to match the painting styles of the ones I bought. Really nice figures, I think you'll agree they were really nicely done, so thought I'd pick them up as they went with my Waterloo theme. And then the 3rd regiment in this brigade is a regiment of Westphalian Landwehr, so note the green banding to their caps. 3 battalions all have different shoulder flashings, red, white and yellow, I think. Yeah, yellow. And then also, unusually for other nations, the Prussians brigaded a regiment of cavalry in with their infantry brigades. So here we go, we've got, I think it was 4 squadrons strong, and indeed I think we've got 5 squadrons here actually, but 4 squadrons of Westphalian Lancers with some Jaegers that they had supporting that regiment as well, mounted Jaegers. So a large regiment of Westphalian Lancers. And then the command stand for this one. Again, Calp figures here, commander, an ADC, field Jaeger, aide de camp. So a nice little vignette there. And we've got some commanders. We've also got some extra, because I'm short of a battalion of those Berg infantry, I tend to put a 2nd skirmish screen in this brigade. So we've got 1 skirmish screen for the regular battalion, we've got a small skirmish screen for the Berg, and then I effectively use a 3rd skirmish screen to represent a unit, perhaps one of the Bergs in skirmish formation. These are all volunteer Jaegers, as you can tell from their green uniforms. So that's my 1st division, inverted commas, Prussian Brigade, and that's the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Corps. All right, we'll move on to our 2nd. Okay, so this one is of the 2nd Corps and is the 5th Brigade. Similar structure, 1 regular, 1 reservist and 1 Landwehr regiment in this brigade. 9 battalions all represented this time, and they've got artillery support. And yeah, I didn't mention we also have an artillery battery with limber to support the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Corps. And now let's look at the 5th Brigade of the 2nd Corps. So again, battery of 6-pounders with their limber, I think I've actually got a 12-pounder gun on that limber. I need to swap that for a 6-pounder. And then let's start off with the regulars. So this one is the 2nd Regiment of regulars. Again, all Kelp figures, smaller units, 24 figures strong. Then we've got the 25th Regiment, I think it is. So this incorporated parts of Lutzo's Free Corps, so the black uniforms for the Lutzo troops. There were 2 battalions of Lutzos, again Kelp figures in there, and a line battalion in support of the Lutzo, as was at Waterloo. That's the 3rd Battalion of the 25th Regiment. Again, and you can see I picked that one up off eBay and has slightly different basing. In fact, all 3 of those slightly different basing. So the front 2 actually were picked up from, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who manufactures the Count figures, they're part of his collection. He was selling them off a while ago. So I bought the 2 Lutzer from him, and then I picked up that 3rd Battalion from eBay as well. And then finally, the 3rd Regiment is all Landwehr. Again, more Westphalian Landwehr with the green flashes on their caps. And again, different battalions distinguished by the shoulder flashes, red, yellow and white again. And also, in this case, we've got some brigaded cavalry. In this case, it's a regiment of hussars. I think it's the 3rd Regiment of Hussars. We've got 3 squadrons in that regiment. So, and finally to top it off, we've got the brigade command. Again, a nice Kelp command stand with the aide-de-camp, field Jaeger as well, and the commander. So that's our 2nd division, inverted commas, of Prussian infantry. And then finally we come along to our cavalry. This is, I think, from the first corps again. Just checking the details while I'm chatting away to you guys. Yeah, reserve cavalry of the 1st Corps. This is the 1st Brigade. So we've got the 3rd All-Hand Regiment. Nice unit there. Yellow shoulder flashes, red trim, and the yellow and blue pennons on their lances. And then 2 large regiments of dragoons. The 2nd and 5th Dragoon Regiments, 2nd with the white facings, 4 squadrons strong, and the 5th with the black facings, 4 squadrons strong, and they have a squadron of field Jaeger in support of them. And our reserve cavalry brigade also has some horse artillery. For this one, we've got the mounted crew, cannon, caisson and limber, and the 6-pounder horse artillery battery. And then we've got some rogue crew that are in the wrong place. And then we've got another vignette with our cavalry commanders for the cavalry brigade. So that's the total Prussian army. If I'm enthusiastic, I sometimes redeploy my Dutch Belgians because they're in British uniforms in blue, which is a similar-ish uniform to some of the units that fought for the Prussians. Some of their Landwehr fought in British supplied uniforms. So I do have a command stand for those particular units. And I can deploy 3 or 4 more battalions of infantry if we need to, and I just take the Dutch-Belgian flags out and fight the units with no flags. It's contested whether actually the Landwehr units in many cases fought with flags at all, but flags always look nice, so all these ones in the permanent army are flagged up. So I don't know about you, but I like having units that can play in multiple formations. So I really like the Dutch Belgians because they proxy in as Prussian Landwehr on occasion. They fight as Dutch Belgians themselves and also fight as Portuguese. All 3 nations fighting, at least with some of their troops, in British supplied blue uniforms. And as you can see here, we've got the Berg here. They shouldn't have those flags because they are Napoleon issued flags for when the Berg fought in the Confederation of the Rhine. But again, I like having units with flags on, and these units will sometimes see them in my Confederation forces fighting for the French. So there we go. We'll probably come back now I've got all these figures out and include these armies in a game on this table today. All right, see you all shortly, and this game will probably be up on eBay in a week or two. Up on eBay? Up on YouTube in a week or two's time. Cheers, everyone.